Hi, my name is Evelyn Diaz, and today I'm going to be presenting on how closed-loop recycling systems in fashion can minimize resource consumption and waste. Now, overconsumption and overfilling landfills has been a huge problem that has been plaguing not only the US, but the world, with landfills starting to be overloaded in the 1960s. At this time, there was an estimated 1.7 million tons of textile waste compared to today's 16 million tons. As the problem keeps growing, there are also new innovations and ideas on how to solve the problem. Beginnings of upcycling. Even though textiles have always been reused through human history, the first recorded beginnings of reusing textile waste was during the Napoleonic War. This was due to a shortage of virgin wool at the time. The French would basically take the old wool and rework it into new garments. And this is how they would basically make do. So in 1855 is when we would see the first inventions come out for textile recyclings. By 1855, 35 million pounds of rags were able to be sorted and processed to make mungo, and shabi. Shabi was basically used to produce woolen fibers and fabrics as well as paper. First organization to really focus on trying to recycle fibers and textiles was the Metal and Waste Traders Association, and they launched in 1913 in London. It was noted that a lot of them were engaged in collecting, sorting, and processing rags. By the 1960s, the textile industry started to pick up speed and mass production really took hold. The textile output ramped up tremendously. Back then, they would reuse the old worn out textiles from clothing to make rags for cleaning and then throw them away once they were unusable. This would lead to textile waste, but in smaller quantities since they were trying to reuse the fabric and not waste it. So in modern day, with fast fashion ramping up trend cycles and overconsumption leading to overflowing landfills, there is still hope. In Prato, Italy, there's a textile recycling district that focuses on prolonging the textile and fiber lifespans. They have processed over 110,000 tons of post-consumer clothing. Would basically for the process is sort it by color, fiber type, and embellishments. They would tear and cut apart the textiles, wash, and then dry the fine fibers. This would cut CO2 emissions more than half than when using virgin materials, and it would eliminate stress from the animals. The biggest drawback to this at the moment is the lack of funding and the manpower that it uses to basically sort out and cut up the fabric. But with new technology always being developed, it isn't long to hopefully we could get closer to closing that gap and being able to have a fully closed loop textile industry. Here are my references, and thank you and have a great day.